This is the teacher Haris Bhatt, and you are seeing my YouTube channel, Learn Accounting with Sir Haris. And today I have come again for you to solve the remaining questions. Yesterday we have solved two questions of October, November 25, variant 22, question number 1 and question number 3, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So today I'm going to solve question number 2, which is basically from errors, and I'm going to solve also question number 4, which is from manufacturing account. So let's solve the question number 2, that is basically from errors. October, November 2025, O-level, igcse 7707-0452, variant 22, which was held on 7th of October 2025. I will also upload the last minute tips for AS accounting soon, and inshallah for paper 3 and paper 4. And I will also go for a workshop soon for AS accounting. Remember this, that I'm going to upload the lectures also, but remember this, that paper for AS accounting, for P3 and P4, I will also go for a workshop, and for AS accounting, I will definitely go for the workshop also, and I will also try to solve the paper as soon as I'm going to get it, as I'm doing it for igcse and 7707 O-levels. So let's start the question. Jia is a trader. His financial year ends on 31st July. Total of her trial balance at 31st July did not agree. Name the account that Jia would need to open to enable her trial balance total to agree. Obviously, it's a suspense account, right? State the primary purpose of this account, right? If there is a difference between the trial on the both sides of the trial balance, the difference will be written with the name suspense account. Even if the balance sheet is not equal, if the statement of financial position is not equal, we'll take the difference and we will write it with the name suspense account, right? So this is basically used when the trial balance did not agree. Then we used to write the difference with the name suspense account to make the two sides equal. Next, Jia later discovered the following errors. And that is, no entry has been made for distribution cost of 320 paid by bank transfer. So this is an error of omission, basically, that you didn't pass the entry for distribution cost. So let me pass the entry, which is going to be quite simple, if I'm not wrong. So that will not be a difficult thing for us, and we will be able to manage it very easily. So let's do that. I'm not going to pass the correct entry or wrong entry because this is quite simple. So I will debit distribution cost will be debited and bank account is going to be credited. This is error of omission, basically, that the distribution cost to bank has not been paid. So I'm going to make the payment through the distribution cost. Let me check again. Not here. So the distribution cost is supposed to be recorded, no entry. So it means that both sides of the entry is not recorded. Had been made for distribution cost paid by bank transfer. So distribution cost is going to debit and bank is going to be credit, and the amount, if I'm not wrong, is 320. So let's do that. As narration is not required, so I'm not going to write the narration because that is not required in the question. So let's move forward. The next entry for the rectification, closing inventory has been recorded as 12,200 instead of 12,900. We should have recorded closing inventory at a price of 12,900, but instead of writing 12,900, we have recorded closing inventory as an amount of 12,200. So it means that closing inventory has been recorded less by 700. So we'll pass the entry. Closing inventory is going to be debited. I will debit closing inventory with the amount 700, and cost of sales is going to be credited with the amount of 700. Yeah, let me make you sure. We have recorded closing inventory as 12,000, should have recorded 12,900, but we have recorded 12,200. So it means that it is closing inventory is undercast by 700. So it's a current asset. So I will debit closing inventory 700. But remember this, that from cost of sales, we have subtracted closing inventory, which is 700 more than the actual amount. So we have subtracted 12,900 rather than 12,200. So what will happen? Because of that, closing inventory is subtracted from the cost of sales. So we have subtracted 12,900. So more amount is supposed to be, less amount is supposed to be subtracted. So I have to subtract 700 more from cost of sales. So cost of sales is going to be credited by 700, right? We have subtracted 12,200 instead of 12,900. It means 700 is not yet subtracted from cost of sales. If we subtract 700 from cost of sales will decrease by 700. So that's why cost of sale is going to be credited by 700 and closing inventory is going to be debited by 700. Okay, let's go for the next entry. Purchases return of 95 had been correctly entered in the credit supplier's account, but had been debited to the sales return account. You must be thinking about this. Let's say this entry, closing inventory, has never come in the O-level exam. Number one. Number two, it is used to come in A-levels very often, but in O-levels, it has come in the past, but hardly twice, right? But if you go through the recent past paper, you will find this entry in the exam. Purchase return 95, purchase return is always credited, entered in the credit supplier's account, but had been debited to sales return account. So we have credited purchase, we should have credited purchase return, but instead of crediting purchase return, we have debited sales return. Okay. We have debited sales return. Now, sales return is going to be credit. Purchase return is going to be credit again. First of all, we'll correct the mistake. So sales return is going to be credit with 95. Then purchase return is not recorded. It will be recorded on the credit side where it should have been written. On the debit side, I'm supposed to write the suspense account because no other account is going to be involved. So suspense will come for that particular purpose. So let me write the total of this 95 into 2. So that is going to be 190. Okay. So I will debit it with 190. Let's see that again. Purchases return had been correctly entered in the credit supplier's account, but had been debited to sales return account. Beta, we should have credited purchase return with 95. But instead of crediting purchase return, we have debited sales return. Okay. सबसे पहले गलती को दूर करेंगे. Sales return is wrongly debited. It needs to be credited with 95. Purchase return is not recorded. We will record it on the same side. Suspense is going to be debited with the double amount because we have to make the two sides equal. That is the WL aspect concept. Next, a check for 225 received from ABC wholesaler. So the entry is going to be bank debit and ABC is going to be credit. A credit customer has been correctly entered in the cash book, but no other entry had been made, right? So I'm supposed to pass the entry bank debit and ABC is going to be credit. What will happen? It is recorded in the bank. In the wrong entry, it is recorded in the bank, but ABC is not supposed to be credited. So I'm going to credit ABC Limited or whatever, and suspense is going to be debited with the amount. Let's see. A check for 225 received from ABC wholesaler, bank to ABC, had been correctly entered in the cash book. It is recorded in the bank column of the cash book, but no other entry has been made. So we are yet to credit ABC. So I'm going to credit ABC, and on the debit side, bank is already correct. So it will not come in the rectifying entry. So suspense is going to be debited by 225. Let's move forward. Property maintenance cost 1220 had been incorrectly charged to the land and building account, right? So this is known as error of principle because property maintenance cost is an expense. Expenses are always debited. And instead of debiting expense, we have debited land and building with 1220. So let's write it down. Property maintenance cost. Let me write here. 1220. Instead of debiting property maintenance costs, we had debited land and building. Now, what will happen? Yes, land and building is going to be credit. With the amount of 1220. Property maintenance is going to be debited with the same amount of 1220. 1220. Okay, so property maintenance debit and land and building is going to be credit with 1220. So that's the end of the topic. All the entries which we have done that is required. Let's see. Prepare the journal entries to correct the errors. Narratives are not required, and we are done with that. And the marks assigned to this question is 9, right? So why the marks are 9? So let's discuss that also, because that is also important, that you should be able to analyze that how the marks have been distributed in the particular section. So you may find it easy to understand things well. So let me check you the marks first. So 2 marks for this, 2 marks for this, 4. This 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The 5 entries are there. If I'm going to assign 2 marks for each entry, right, we are going to have 10 marks. So it means that distribution cost to bank is the error of omission, closing inventory to cost of sales. If I will assign 1, 2, 3, 4, so this particular entry, suspense to sales return, purchase return, might have one more mark, extra mark, in comparison to the other entries. So that would be the scenario, or one of the entry is going to be on the, will carry some lesser marks, because we have 5 entries with actually 9 marks of the exam. So it means that the entries which are having suspense account, they might have more marks than the entries which does not involve suspense. So that would be the, I think that this first entry carries only 1 mark. Then this entry will carry 2 marks, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 5, 5 and 2, 7, and then again 2, 9 marks will be a part of the game. Let's move forward for the others. So let's see what it says, the next part of the story. It says that state 2 types of errors that will not revealed by the trial balance. Error of omission, error of commission, right? Error, complete reversal, error of principal, transposition. These are all the errors which are not revealed by the trial balance. Complete the table by entering the amount by which GR profits for the year would be overstated or understated if each error is left uncorrected, sorry. If an error has no effect on profit, either 0 in the no effect box, either 0 or you can effect no effect, like first is already has been done for you. Remember this, that in the workshop, I've already told it to you, even in the guess also, that the examiner is going to ask you this type of question. They will not ask you to have a effect on profit after correcting the error. There will be question of effect on profit before correction. Before correction. So what you will do, if you're going to want to have an effect before correction, it's very, very easy. Just go reverse by that. How come, sir? Let's see. This is the entry. Distribution cost is going to be debited 320. So what will happen? If you correct the error, expense is going to be debited, it will decrease profit. Any income statement account is going to be debited, it will decrease profit. 320 needs to be subtracted, right? To correct the error. Now you'll go reverse. So you have added it, it means it has been overstated. So that expense is going to be overstated. So let me write here, here it is written overstated, because you have added up. The profit for the year is going to be overstated. Next, you can do in the same way, closing inventory to cost of sales. So cost of sales is going to credit. Closing inventory is an asset, current asset. Cost of sales is an expense actually, or cost of sales you can say. It is credited, so it will increase profit for the correction of error. If you want to find the corrected profit, this cost of sale, any income statement account, if it is credited, it will increase profit, right? You will go reverse. You will decrease means it is going to be understated. Profit will be understated by this particular amount. So you will write here understated with the how much amount? With the amount of 700. So it's very simple that cost of sales, profit is going to be understated with the amount of 700. Okay. Next is sales return and purchase return. Both are income statement account and both are going to be credited. It will increase profit, right? Because they are credited. You will add it in profit, but now you have to subtract it. It means the profit will be understated. So again, with the total amount of 95 plus 95, the profit is going to be understated. 95 plus 95 will be 190. So I will write here 190 with the profit understated. Okay, let me write it. If you want me to write it, I can write here 320, 190 understated. Then comes the other part also. That is cost of sales 700 credit, which is also understated by, just a minute, by 700. So I will write here 700, like here. Okay, next, let's see. Next is Suspense to ABC. There is no income statement account. There is no expense and income account in the fourth entry. So we'll move forward. Property maintenance is debited. That's an income statement account. Expense is debited. Now what you will do? Profit will decrease. But here you will go reverse. You will increase means overstated. Profit will be increased because of the error. So it is going to be overstated by 1220. That's it. 1220. So this is how we are going to be deal with this particular part of the game. They are given 7 marks to this particular part, where one part has already been done. I think I have shown no effect on this, and it should have been written under it. So there is a little problem. Here I'm going to rub it here. Right. So here comes 0, and here comes overstated 1220. Okay. So that's it. Right. So we are done with this. 1 marks for this and 2 marks for this. 7 marks are quite heavy. Heavy numbers are given. Why? Because of the relation we are going to build for finding the effect on profit before correction. Either it is understated or overstated. So we are done with this part. I think, if I'm not wrong, the question is completed. Yeah. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question, which is going to be our manufacturing count. Hopefully you have understood this particular part of the game. So let's prepare the next question, which is our next part of the question number. Let me see, because 1, 2, 3 we have done. So might have, it must be question number 4, because 5 is for ratios. So let's see. Yeah, that is going to be question number 4. 5. Okay, question number 5. So it means that question number 4 is going to be regarding the ratios. That is question number 5 for part of manufacturing. Okay. Girl company manufactures car parts and has provided the following information relating to the year ended 31st March. Revenue is given 1107,272. Raw material is given, that is inventory opening and closing are given. Finished goods opening, closing, salaries and wages. Operative wages means factory operative wages. They are direct wages before prime cost. Factory supervision salaries are factory overheads. Office staff salaries are supposed to be written in the income statement under the heading of expenses. Purchase of raw material, purchase of finished goods is given, which will go to the income statement. Carriage on finished goods will go to the income statement, because it is on finished goods, not on raw material. Factory machinery and depreciation is given. Rent and rates, electricity charges, insurance and factory general expenses are given, and work in progress is also given. So the examiner has asked you to prepare the manufacturing count. So let's do that. Quite simple, not a difficult thing to go for. I'm going to write the dollar sign here first. And I will start from the direct material. So let me start from the direct material. I will start the raw material opening first over here. Okay. In raw material opening, but we'll do add purchase of raw material. Okay. Add purchase of raw material. Then I'm going to add carriage inward, but there is no carriage inward of raw material. That is carriage inward of finished goods actually. So it will not come over here. Less purchase return. It is not a part of the question because it is not given. So closing inventory of raw material, I'm going to subtract. Let's see what is the amount of raw material opening. So raw material opening is given here. Inventory at 1st April 21700. Then purchase of raw material is given. That is 280050. So let me write it down. 21700. Sorry. And purchase of raw material, let's see the amount. That is going to be 280050. Okay, let me write here 280050. Then raw material closing inventory. Let's see if any other thing is given. No, there is nothing given. So we are going for raw material closing. Here it is given 16,400. So let me write here. And I can write the bracket here, 16,400 for the bracket. Let me see, either it is 16,400 or 16440. 400, that's fine. Okay. So let me calculate it. I have the calculator with me. So 21,700 plus 280,050 minus 16,400. The answer is 285,350. So I will write here 285,350. That is going to be material used. Obviously, it's not easy without the solution. I have seen so many teachers going for past paper, solving past paper questions after the solution has been uploaded by Cambridge. So they used to do that after that, right? So now I'll go with factory operative wages. Add factory operative wages, which is direct labor cost, obviously. Let's see what is the amount of direct labor cost here. So the direct labor cost is factory operative wages 241,200. Might be possible that there are wages accrued also. Oh, no, they are not given. Oh, that's fine then, right? Because they are not given, factory operative wages are not given, accrued are not given. So directly we can write 241,200. Then comes direct expenses, 241,200. Then comes direct expenses with license fee, royalties, but they are not given in the question. So if they are not given in the question, we don't need to write it down. So that will become very, very simple for us to understand it. Okay, now let's move forward. Let me write the answer, which is going to be our prime cost, basic cost, initial cost, whatever you like. Add factory overheads in that. I will add factory overheads in that. So let's see the prime cost first. Let me go for the total of the prime cost. Very simple. 285,350 plus 241,200. So the answer is 526,550. So let me write here 526,550, 526,550. Add factory overheads. So now let's play with factory overheads, because there are some items which are related with factory overhead. One of them is factory supervision salaries. That is 48,240. So let me write here. First of all, that is factory supervision salaries, and that is going to be 24,840. If I'm not wrong, sorry, 48,240. 48,240. See where it is here, 48,240. Okay. Next, depreciation on factory machinery is to be provided at 15% using reducing balance method. So we can use the depreciation on factory machinery also, because it is factory overheads cost. Why, sir? Because the depreciation machinery is supposed to be used in the factory. So the depreciation on machinery is supposed to be charged under the heading of factory overheads. So what is the amount of factory machinery? 427,000 minus 187,000 at the rate of 15%. So let me calculate it. 427,000 minus 187,000. Answer is 240,000 into 15%. That is 36,000. The depreciation on machinery, that is going to be 36,000. So let me write here. Yes, because we are using reducing balance method, my dear. So we have to subtract the depreciation from the cost, whatever has already been charged. 427,000 here minus 187,000. The answer you will write. Rent and rates 10,060, and rent and rates 60% relate to factory, and the remainder being the office expense. So 60% of the rent and rates will go to the factory overheads. So let me write here rent and rates. Let me see. Rent and rates 60% relate to factory. That is 10060. 10060 into 0.66036. I will write here 6036. If you want to show the working, you can. Okay. That is, you can write here. What is the amount? Let me see. Just a minute. Rent and rates are given 10,060 into 60%. Okay. 10,060 into 60%. Okay, right. Next, let's move forward. Next, electricity charges 9344. It needs to be distributed also. Electricity charges, and they are supposed to be, here it is written, electricity charges are to be split in the ratio 5:3 between the factory and the office. So 5:3 plus 5 plus 3, 8. So 9344 into 5/8 will go to, let me write here, 9344 into 5/8. And I will write here. Let me calculate 9344 into 5 divided by 8. So the answer is 5840. Wow. How easy this question is, man. Right? I have given the same questions in the workshop. My students have exact idea. Same questions I have given in the workshops, only the amounts are changed. Same pattern, same items are given. Next. After electricity, we have insurance and factory general expenses 27640. So let me write here first. Factory general expenses. That is going to be here. That is 27640. So I will write here 27640. Now let me do insurance is 18,400 and insurance is split equally between the factory and the office. So we have to split insurance equally between the factory and the office. So I will write here insurance 18,400 into 1/2 because it is stated that it is supposed to be distributed equally between the factory and the office. Where is insurance? 18,400 multiplied by 1/2. The answer is going to be 9,200. So now we are done with the insurance. Okay, we are done with the all factory overheads. Now let's go for the total of factory overheads. I will write here, and then I'm going to write add work in progress, less work in progress closing to find cost of goods, cost of production. So 48240, let me add them up first, plus 36,000 plus 6036 plus 5840 plus 27640 plus 9200. So the answer is 132956. So let me write here. The answer is going to be 132956. Then I will add 132956 plus 526550. That is 659506. Let me write here. 659506 is the total factory cost. I got it. I got the total factory cost. Now what I'm going to do, definitely I will add work in progress opening, which is the normal way to solve the question. And I will subtract less work in progress closing, because this is how we used to solve the manufacturing account. Add work in progress closing, add work in progress opening, less work in progress closing. They are given here 83440 92510. So let me write 83440 83440, and that is going to be subtracted work in progress closing. Let me see the amount again. 92510. In bracket, I can write 92510. So the answer I will write in the next column, and that has to become in negative again, obviously, and you will find the cost of production. So let me write 83440 minus 92510. So the 9070 is going to be the negative answer of this. So I will write here like this 9070. And let me subtract it now. 659,506 minus 9070. The answer is 650,436. So I will write here 650,436. 650,436 is the cost of production. So we have calculated the manufacturing count, and I have done with the cost of production in front of you, which is 650,436. Now I have to prepare the income statement. You can write statement of profit and loss also, one and the same thing. I will go with the dollar sign first, and you know that we'll start from the revenue first. Revenue means that sales, and you used to subtract sales return from the revenue. Let's see either the revenue is given in the question or not. So revenue is given. That is 110,110,7,272. Okay. Let me write 110,7,272. Now I'm going to subtract less cost of sales from the revenue. I will start with opening inventory of finished goods. You have to write the full version. You have to write the full version, right? Add cost of production, whatever you have calculated from the manufacturing account, you will write here. Then you will write add purchase of finished goods. And then you have to subtract the closing inventory of finished goods. You need to subtract from this. Let's see the opening inventory of finished goods given in the question. Here it is given 76370. 76370. Let me write down. Opening inventory of finished goods 76370. Add cost of production, we have calculated 650,436, right? 650,436. Add purchase of finished goods, we have to see, because we are not only manufacturing and selling some goods, we are purchasing directly from outside supplier and selling it to the customer. So purchase of finished goods is 122,430. 122,430. I have missed one thing. I will write it in front of you. 122,430. Let me see again. Purchase of finished goods 122,430. But there is carriage on finished goods also. 2242. That needs to be added also. So I will write here. I have space. I will write here. Carriage on finished goods. And carriage, right? And the answer and the amount is 2242. Okay, now let's closing inventory of finished goods. I will subtract. That is given here 49660. 49660. Let me write here. In bracket, I will use 49660. Okay, now let me calculate the answer and I will go with the gross profit after writing the answer. Let me calculate it. 76370 plus 650,436, which is the cost of production actually, plus 122,430, which is the purchase of finished goods, plus 2242, that is the carriage on finished goods, and minus 49660, that will be the cost of production, 801,818. So let me write here, that comes 801,818. 801,818. I will subtract, I'll get gross profit, and then I'm going to subtract the expenses from this. Yes, gross profit, you need to label it with the proper word, with the full word. Otherwise, you will not get marks for that actually. That's very important, right? So first of all, I'm going to write rent and rates, because rent and rates are 10,060. So 40% will come over here, because 10,060 into 60% went to the factory overheads. That is going to be 4024. Then comes electricity charges. Electricity charges. That is 9344 into 5 by 8. 9344 into 3 by 8 will go to the expenses. That is 3504. 3504. Okay. Then comes insurance, because insurance needs to be distribution, equal insurance. So it's quite simple. It will go to 9,200. Might be possible that there are depreciation on office equipment also, we'll check out, but there are salaries or office staff. Here, office staff salaries, 64350. So that will also come over here. 64350. I will write here, office staff salaries, 64350. I hope there is no other expenses, but let's have a look. Carriage on material, factory machinery, depreciation, rent and insurance, electricity, factory general expenses, depreciation. Yeah, everything is going to be recorded. We are done with that. Now let me go for the total of this. Yeah, there is spelling mistake, no matter. I'll get the profit for the year. So first of all, 110,7,272, which is the sales. 110 revenue 1107272 minus 801818. So the gross profit is 305454. So let me write here 305454. Okay, now let me go for the total of the expenses. That is 4024 plus 3504 plus 9200 plus 64350. That is 81078. 81078. Let me subtract it. Gross profit is 305454 minus 81078. So the profit is 224376. I got the profit 224376, which is a very heavy profit we are having, and we are having very low amount of expenses actually. So we know that cost of sales is a little high, cost of production is high, but we have very few indirect expenses, which because of that we have a very high amount of profit for the year, which is 224376. So now let's see that there is what other parts are given in the question. We have gone for the manufacturing account. How many numbers? 13 marks we have for the manufacturing account. Let's see the other parts given in the paper for this particular question. So that is going to be the income statement. So we have already prepared the income statement, and I have shown you that how the income statement is supposed to be prepared. Now let's talk about the fourth question. A.Y. Limited has provided the following performance data for the last 2 years. Return on capital employed, gross margin, profit margin, 24 and 25 for both years. The ratios are given. Trade payable, trade receivable, all ratios are given, and all sales and purchases are on credit and subject to a 30-day credit period. So the question is not supposed to solve the numerically. It is a theoretical part. Complete the following table indicated whether the ratio has improved or deteriorated at the end of year 2 and give 2 reasons which may have caused the change. Right? That is return on capital employed ratio, deteriorated. Why? Because introduction of additional capital or loans or profit for the year has decreased. Next is going to be the gross margin. So the gross margin, if you just look, then profit margin, inventory turnover, liquid ratio, that's it. So let's see. The gross margin is 22% and now it is 23.5%. The gross margin has increased because of the reason that the sales might have increased with the same cost of sales, or cost of sales might have decreased with the same sales. Or you can say that you have purchased cheaper supplies, because of that cost of sales has gone down, and because of that you have getting more gross margin or more gross profit in comparison to sales. So these are the reasons. Profit margin 11.5 to 11%. It means that sales might have decreased with the same cost of sales. Because of that, gross profit will also decrease and profit will also decrease. Other thing, the business are not able to control its expenses. So we are not able to control our expenses. So because of the increase in expenses, our profit margin has decreased from 11.5 to 11. The business efficiency has gone down. Business effectiveness has gone down. Inventory turnover 9.46 times to 11.45 times. So inventory turnover has improved. So we are able to sell our inventory more quickly. So maybe the inventory levels has gone down. We have gone for more advertisement, right? And the quality of the product has improved. We have advertised properly. The customer are more inclined towards our product. There is more customer retention, right? Customers are coming back again to purchase our product. So that is why the inventory turnover has increased because of that reason. The trade payable turnover ratio has gone down. So we are making the payment earlier to our trade payables, because it might be possible that the formula is trade payable over credit purchases, right? So if trade payable has gone down, the amount of trade payable has decreased. So that's why we are making the payment more to the credit purchases, right? We are having more credit purchases. So the amount of credit purchases has increased. So we are making our payment to our trade payables more quickly. Trade receivable turnover ratio has also increased. It means that we are not able to make payment we are not able to collect amount from your trade receivables.